What's going on, everyone? Welcome into another edition of the Pelicans podcast presented by SeatGeek. I'm Daniel Sallerson, and we have a great show for you, but a very special guest for you to start off, and that is David West. Played with the New Orleans Hornets at the time from 2003 to 2011, the longest tenured New Orleans Pelican / Hornet in franchise history, and he joins us right now. David, appreciate your time. How are you holding up right now?
All good. Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. What have you been up to lately? How are you been staying busy during this hiatus? There's everyone that's been doing, different things from their house. What have you been up to kind of stay busy during this time?
Well, I've got 3 kids, so that's number one priority. They've kept me pretty busy. I just, like everyone else, I've just conducted business from this computer, a bunch of Zoom calls, staying connected. I've got a few different business initiatives going, so I've been able to stay in touch pretty much just like everyone else. Obviously it's been difficult not being able to travel, but again, working on new ways to do business and engage people in the business world is really what I've been doing in the last few months during this pandemic.
One of those things, if you don't mind talking about, is the PCL, the Professional Collegiate League, as you are the COO. Mm-hmm. What is behind that project? How long has that been going on? And kind of tell us a little bit more about the league.
Okay. Yeah, well, it's a project I took on maybe a little over a year now. I found out about these guys a couple years before I retired. Great initiative. I felt like something that I wanted to put my energy behind because the potential impact of creating another opportunity for guys coming out of high school, guys who are in their college age careers, who again the college system may not be the best choice for them. They can't take that step into the NBA ranks just yet, but are still looking for an opportunity to grow and develop themselves, between the ages of 18 to 23. We are an option, and again, the league that we have, it's a place where guys will be able to come, develop, take on an academic role, an academic curriculum that isn't necessarily a traditional one, but meets guys where they are. Again, so we're talking about guys that may not be eligible for the draft. Eligible for college. We're talking about guys who have been in the college system and are looking for a different alternative, as there's like over 700 players this year in the transfer portal. So just looking to meet the need of players where they are in terms of taking the next steps for them in their professional career, but being able to use it and monetize it while they're in their college earning years.
Now, I want to stroll down memory lane just a little bit. You played such a big role in this franchise's history, the longest tenured player here. I know this is going to be tough to answer with so many memories you've had, but can you narrow it down, whether it's a playoff series, whether it's a certain game, whether it's your time with some of your old teammates? What were some of your biggest memories during your time with New Orleans?
I think initially probably was, I would say my rookie year was quite an experience because of the players that were on that team, the caliber of people that were on that team. And I consider that to be probably, one of the reasons why I was able to sustain myself and have a long career was because of that collection of men that I was able to come in under, where I got drafted, and really feeling the genuine desire of the team. It's a story I haven't really told much, but when I got drafted, I felt like I should have gone higher than 18. Bob Bass told me right out. He said, if you're available at 18, we're going to take you. And this was before I had even worked out for them. So it holds a special place in my heart, just because, again, it was the place that decided, this is our guy. We're thankful that the other 17 teams didn't draft him. They made me feel like that from day one. And then there was always a plan around me in terms of drafting me. And I think for a player, that's always important. And then, like I said, going through having the teams that we had with, that rookie team that was full of some of the best veterans. The game is, in my opinion, games ever produced. They're just productive, positive people, and they implemented the right things in me that allowed me the confidence to continue on. And then going through Katrina, going through the rebuild, getting the team back to prominence in the NBA. making a couple all-star teams. Again, and just developing friendships with teammates that I have, to this day, have been really the most precious things that I take away from my time in New Orleans.
What was your favorite aspect about living in the city? You mentioned it, you had to go back and forth with Katrina, and you talk about not having a property, but what would be your favorite aspect of the city that makes it so special?
The food, the people, the weather. Real simple.
Trifecta right there.
Right. Just no place like it. I think the people obviously are unique. I love the food. I kept my, a guy that was a friend of mine, Pat, who was a chef down there. I keep in touch with him to this day. He still sends me food every now and then when he's got some tasty stuff going on. But it's just, like I said, it's just the combination of all of that. Enjoying the weather, the fact that you can get pretty much good warm weather throughout the year. Again, the people are warm and welcoming, and you don't have that flavor, that mix anywhere else like New Orleans.
And Mrs. Benson talks about if you love the city, it will love you back. And I feel like that was the way with you. And that's kind of been the message of some of the young guys, Zion Williamson, some of the young stars the Pelicans have. Do you feel like that's kind of the sentiment? If you embrace the city, that will definitely embrace you back?
Yeah. If you are, make yourself known. And again, just being personable. I think that goes a long way in a place like New Orleans where everybody says hi, everybody speaks to one another. Just being able to recognize the energy of the city, and then not be overwhelmed by when you're introduced to something new. Like I remember when I was like my first or second year, and I was on, I think it was Veterans Boulevard, and these guys were like hunting the crocodiles in the in the canal, and I was like a little taken back, but it was like, I found out what was going on. And like, every year they come through these canals, so these guys make sure they don't get. So it was, again, but it's something that you've got to, I guess, appreciate, because that's like a little quirk, that's unique to New Orleans.
That's interesting. I live right off Veterans Boulevard. I haven't seen anyone crocodile hunting yet, but I'm going to have to keep an eye out for it in case it happens.
Yeah. Right. It was real random. I remember when there's something about them, and these guys would just ride, like there were people tracking the canals, just make sure there weren't any coming through the, through the pipes or whatever. So it was, again, something that's just quirky about New Orleans, but it makes it a very unique place.
That's crazy. I want to go back to the 07-08 team, because that was a very special team here in the city of New Orleans. And I know Chris Paul has touched on it a little bit, the chemistry of that team, guys getting along on and off the court. And I feel like it's a very underrated aspect of a team, whether it was that 07-08 team or just teams now in general, with a lot of changing of stars going from one team to another. And I feel like you can compare it a little bit to this Pelicans team based on the fact that as the season grew, you can just see the chemistry and everyone gets along on and off the court. Right. Do you believe that chemistry is a lot bigger aspect for a team's success than, some may think?
Yeah, I mean, it's everything. You've got to have chemistry from the top down and from the down, from the bottom up. And with the team, you've got to be able to, mix personalities sometimes I wouldn't say this is the case with the current team, but you sacrifice talent sometimes, for character and making sure that personalities and things blend, because NBA season is long. There's a lot of emotions involved. Game to game emotion is high and intense. So, it's important that the guys like each other. I think that's a very, very important part of an NBA locker room, is that the guys like each other. They like coming in every day and talking to each other, working with each other, and are unified around, whatever team goals that they've set for themselves. I think that there have been teams like OKC did it, I thought early on with Durant and Westbrook and Harden and those guys, where they were building through the draft and they were building sort of a cohesiveness and personality, right? Guys that were getting along. And other teams have tried to, work in that vein. I think as we've gotten smarter, more information has come out, there are more people involved in some of the decision making. people understand the importance of having guys on the same page and literally just having guys that like each other, like being around each other, because those are the environments that tend to get the most out of players.
Do you feel like you and Chris took it upon yourselves to be the ones that kind of made sure the team stayed on the track that they wanted to go as far as that chemistry? Did you feel like you two were kind of the leaders of the group to kind of make sure that the train was still staying on the tracks throughout the entire run?
Yeah, I mean, we just didn't, I think, I don't know, like, I hate talking about myself, but like, we're not bad people, like,
Right.
it's just like you wake up, you're working on doing the right thing, you're thinking about the right things, you're organized the right way in terms of, what would work, what won't work, what's right, what's wrong. And I think, it was just a natural thing. The people that we had around the organization, were good people, weren't bad people. That doesn't necessarily mean that, we didn't have conflict. But again, when people are just, I think, generally centered around doing the right thing, thinking the right way, wanting to get the most out of their time and energy and effort, I think that sort of sets the basis for the environment of the team. And so it wasn't anything that we did out of the ordinary other than, just be ourselves and be confident in who we were as individuals. And then I think the pieces that came, the guys that were there, it was just because, when I got to the Hornets at the time, PJ Brown was there. And like, PJ is like one of the best people, you could ever be around. Steve Smith was there. Stacey Augmon was there. So these guys these guys were like a certain type of way, like do the right thing, work the right kind of way. And it was like PJ just didn't play no games. Like it wasn't no grabby ass or anything like that. So I never saw the downside. CP never saw the downside as a rookie. It was always, stable veterans, people who were working and grinding and figuring out ways to get better every single day. So we never got a chance to be corrupted, when we were young. Yeah. And that was, like I said, that was a testament not just to us, but the people around us and the other guys we had on the team.
All right, so before I let you go, David, a couple more questions for you, but I had to get your opinion on Zion Williamson. I know a very small sample size here in the first year with his injury and, of course, the hiatus right now, but what have been some of your initial thoughts when watching Zion play?
Yeah, well, I first saw him in high school, and I'm not going to call out any names, but I was in the locker room one time, and there was a bunch of guys saying, I don't know how good he's going to be. I don't think he can. And I remember telling them, I said, nah, man, I saw this dude up close. He's bigger than y'all think. And what I was talking about was his size, just his sheer physical ability. I think he hasn't disappointed. He's not going to disappoint. He's a go-getting type of player where he's going to go make things happen. I think he had a stretch of games where he scored 20 points in a row, whatever, a bunch of different times. He's a guy that's going to go make it happen because he has this, that explosiveness that's just unreal. I think mentally he's going to be able to conquer a lot of guys before he even goes up against them. He's a guy that I think can recognize that and is going to take advantage of that as often as he can. So I think the sky's the limit for him. He's obviously a franchise level, game-changing type player. I think, again, he's got to continue to evolve. I do like the fact that he goes in the post. I do like the fact that he knows he's bigger and stronger, maybe not height-wise, but physically, just being bigger and stronger than guys, and he takes advantage of that.
David, I really appreciate the time. This was fun getting to know you a little better and kind of hearing from you, checking up on you a little bit. I hope this is not the last time we get to talk, and I appreciate the time here.
Absolutely, man. I'll keep you guys on my list, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.